What's good, everybody? Welcome back or welcome to my channel if you are new. For today's video, it's not necessarily going to be something beauty related or hair related. I wanted to get a little personal. I kind of wanted to just have a little discussion, talk to y'all a little bit. I wanted to talk about something that affects me in my everyday life. For those of you who don't know me personally or have always been curious when you see photos of me, particularly the ones that I take mirror photos or ones that are showing my hands. I was born with crooked fingers. You're probably like, oh, crooked, oh, that's not bad, you know. It's probably not that noticeable, whatever. No, these Jones look broke, okay? I didn't break them, nothing happened to them. I was just born this way. On top of that, I am missing my middle phalanges. Basically, this is what my fingers look like. Crooked. My ring fingers are both crooked. I cannot make a fist. Get a good look. Don't scream, okay? You may get a little freaked out, whatever, I'm used to it. For those of y'all who never took anatomy or don't know what I'm talking about, most people have middle knuckles, which are referred to as middle phalanges. I don't have that. Therefore, my fingers cannot make a full fist. So they look like this. So I kind of look a little stupid when I'm dancing, you know, because I can't really make a fist. I noticed that I had different thumbs. I discovered this maybe like in middle school. It's just the weirdest thing. Like if you look at my fingers, my thumbs, this thumb can bend, but this thumb cannot. And I know that's something that a lot of people are not used to seeing and a lot of people get freaked out by when they initially see them. For a long time, I was very embarrassed to show my hands, show my fingers, take pictures that, you know, would show them. Now, growing up, I did struggle with feeling confident when, you know, I was talking with my hands or something as simple as waving to a person. Or I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, oh, how do you write and how do you do this and da 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 da. Honey, my handwriting is beautiful, okay? My cursive is beautiful. Thank you. I also learned how to play the piano at a young age. My fingers were never really a hindrance for me growing up. I think the biggest hindrance was kind of being comfortable with them and being okay with people seeing them and, you know, being afraid of what somebody else is gonna think when they saw them. And I can still be a little self-conscious about them. The older I get, the more I realize that, wow, I really spent a lot of time thinking about what someone else was gonna think about my fingers. I would hide them. Like I always have my hands in my pockets or, you know, in my jacket pockets or my pants pockets. I don't wanna say that I'm necessarily a victim of bullying because I've always been kind of feisty. So when I was younger, like in elementary school, someone would be like, oh, your fingers, your fingers. I'd always kind of like clap back. You're not gonna talk to me any kind of way, but so I wouldn't say I was a victim of bullying, but it definitely had an effect on me. So I guess in a way, I had to grow tough skin at a young age. I've always been very defensive when it comes to my fingers. And then I got to a point where I was just like, okay, why don't I just educate this person on my fingers, you know? Baby, I was born this way, okay? For so long, I was so embarrassed of my fingers. Like, it was crazy. It's not the first thing people see and notice, you know, they see this face, all right? And they may see that I'm skinny as hell, you know, things that are initially catch your eye. If I'm talking with my hands, usually people, their first reaction is, ooh, what happened to your fingers? People definitely trip out when they see my fingers. They think they tripping. I used to be so scared to post photos of me, like a mirror picture, because when I take photos, I'll insert some photos here, but when I take photos, you can see them clear as day when I'm holding a phone or when I'm holding something, anything. For those of you who don't know, I am 20 years old. So it's taken a good 20 years to kind of become more comfortable with them and not think of them as much. Like I'm at a point in my life where I really do not think about my fingers as much as I used to. It's not the first thing that's crossing through my mind when I'm talking and da 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 da. If you notice, you notice. Usually after I tell people that I cannot make a proper fist, they proceed to ask me, well, how do you fight? Like, can you? Oh, baby, don't worry about that, okay? Lily got the thumpers, okay? Because I can handle my own. And it's interesting when people say that because I had been taking martial arts since I was a kid. My dad is a martial arts instructor. So he thought it was very important for me to learn how to defend myself and my siblings. And I truly believe that God made me this way for a reason. I really believe that my fingers, although they aren't the most appealing, attractive things in the world, they are a reminder that I am not perfect, you know, that I have flaws too. I hate when people think that, you know, just because it's not a typical insecurity or whatever. Sometimes people struggle with things that you wouldn't necessarily think that they struggle with. And for me, my fingers are top 5 insecurity, maybe top 3. Although they are insecurity, I have learned to accept them. I do not want surgery to fix them. You know, when I was a kid, you know, I definitely thought about it. My parents thought about it, but you know, they said this is what makes her unique. And it's true, you know, we all have different things that make us unique. One of mine happens to be my fingers. I've grown to become appreciative of that. The only time that I'm ever really aware or conscious of the fact that my fingers are crooked is when someone else points them out. Sometimes it is a little rude, sometimes it is a little hurtful, but I've learned to just, you know, keep it pushing. Like, it is what it is. I couldn't control how I was made. Definitely been a learning lesson for me because it's like, okay, we're all dealing with something, you know, whether it's big or small, but it's how you deal with it that kind of defines, you know, your mindset and your mentality. And I decided to change my mentality, and I decided to change my mindset to a more positive way of looking at my fingers. You know, it's not like I'm unable to function. I can still eat, I can still open doors, I could play piano, I can still play instruments and write and things like that. Although they aren't super appealing, you know, to the eye, I understand that it could be worse. You know, it really could be worse. I really couldn't have no hands at all. I could be missing a finger or have an extra finger, you know? It is okay to have flaws. It is okay to have insecurities. You know, that is a human characteristic. I know eventually, like, if my channel started getting some views or whatever from people who don't know me, questions are gonna come in, because if I'm doing makeup, you know, I'm up close, I'm using my hands, or I'm talking with my hands, or, you know, so I wanted to kind of come on here to talk about it, address it, but also attach a little lesson to it, you know, something that someone could take away from this. I am not God, I am a creation of God. Therefore, I guess I was made perfectly how I was supposed to be made, but that does not make me perfect. I've learned to accept the fact that I am different, that I'm unique, and that is okay. I think oftentimes we get so wrapped up in how other people are gonna view us, and I used to always think of how I would react if someone would say this to me, and you know, I got it down where it's like, okay, you know, I try to stay calm. It does kind of hurt sometimes, but I just let that person know I was born this way, and usually, oh, okay. Or I get, oh, they're weird, or ooh, that's gross, ew. Those kind of people I just don't even want to address. If you couldn't ask without being rude, I don't even need to be having a conversation with you. As I get older, I learned to love a lot of things about myself that I didn't love about me before. You know, I was very, very, very ashamed of how my fingers looked, how I looked in general. As I am on my journey of self-love, these are a lot of things that I've learned to conquer, a lot of ill thoughts that I've learned to not think anymore. It's changed my perspective on a lot of things, because now I'm able to focus less on my outwardly appearance and things I can't control, my fingers for example, and focus on how I am inside, how I am up here. Especially in today's society, we're so obsessed with how we look on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter, how our photos look, da 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 da. And I'm not gonna lie, there are times where I will feel a little insecure. I will consider that when I'm taking a photo, but if the photo come out bomb and my finger's still in it, I'm posting it. So, and if you can't get with it, your man can. I don't think my fingers take away from who I am as a person. If anything, it has added to my character. It's definitely something that has been an obstacle that I have overcome. I was blessed with a finger deformity. You have to realize that people's deformities and disabilities do not define them. And I realized that a lot of people were not taught manners and good manners, and you know, kindness. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all. Not everybody's raised like you. Not everybody's brought up the same way. And it's made me more aware of, like, if I'm subconsciously judging someone, I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're dealing with that just as you have been dealing with your fingers. Like, who are you to look down on somebody because they got this going on? It puts me in check. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not perfect. People have a tendency of looking down on people that they believe is beneath them for whatever reason, and that's not okay. I'm not gonna say that I have never been guilty of this, because I have. It's such a poisonous mindset to have. It don't make you any better. It don't make you look better. It's not making you no money. Like, it literally costs nothing to be a nice person. Keep negative thoughts and comments to yourself. You know, I don't understand why people feel compelled to always voice their opinion. Your opinion is not always needed, it's not always valid. I'm definitely aware of the things that I say to other people. Is my criticism helping or harming someone? And I think that in today's society, especially with my generation, some people feel the need to be big, bad, and bold on the internet. They get emboldened by the fact that they are talking behind a screen. I've been cyberbullied before. It's not something I can say really was detrimental to me, because I've always been able to kind of, like, you know, I'll think, okay, that's your opinion of me. That's not my opinion of me. So I don't really care, especially if it's people I don't know. If I don't know you and you coming for me on the internet, bye. Like, block. I don't always feel the need to clap back if someone has a negative opinion of me. That's none of my business. You cannot control what a person thinks about you. You can only control how you think about you and how you feel about you. At the end of the day, that's really what's important. So what if someone think you ugly? So what if someone doesn't think you cute or that you're not popping? Because if you know you popping, if you believe you're popping, that's all that matters. And usually when you believe it and you exude confidence, there's two types of people. There are people who gon' mess with you because you're a confident individual and you believe in yourself, which will in turn allow them to feel the same about you. Or on the other end, you got a hater who you know, their opinion of you always gonna be their opinion of you. You know, people change, but if someone does not like you and does not have a valid reason for not liking you, there's really nothing you could do. 9 times out of 10, that person is just miserable, or they're jealous or envious. You can't feed into how they feel about you. Let the people who are constantly showing you love and positivity be the people who affect your mindset or affect how you feel about yourself, if it's positive. But don't ever let anybody's opinion be the #1 opinion that you have of yourself. When I tell you, life is way too short to be worried about what shorty over there gotta say, what your man's over there gotta say. If it ain't positive, cut it, let it go. Don't even let it into your psyche. When you're looking in the mirror and when you're thinking about yourself, the only opinion that should matter is your own. But yeah, I'm a firm believer in not letting little things define you. Your character is what defines you. How you treat people is what defines you, not your outwardly appearance and things you cannot control. I'm okay with how I look. I'm okay with how my fingers look. I'm okay with not being normal. Like, really, what is normal when you think about it? Are any of us normal? That's really all I wanted to say for this video. I hope I wasn't rambling too much and that everything I was saying was clear and concise. If you guys enjoy talks like this or videos like this, I'm happy to do more. This is a little all over the place because I'm still trying to get used to talking in front of a camera alone in my room. I can talk in front of people, but I can't do this. Is weird. I think it's important for me to not only share what I know about beauty and hair and makeup and all that stuff, but I want it to be kind of universal, kind of versatile. If you'd like to see more videos like this, a little more chit chat, advice type videos, let me know. Let me know what you want me to talk about. If there's something that is bothering you or you're going through or you want to try to get over and you want some advice, let me know. I've been through enough in my 20 years of life to be able to give some kind of advice in some way, shape, or form. I'm good for something, as my mama always says.